Here I am this morning thinking about Mark Twain and his famous characters, especially Huckleberry-Fin and his friend Tom Sawyer. That's because it happened around these parts. Forests like this, rolling hills, fertile land that was being conquered by a new civilization when America was young. I'm in that historical area right now, which is around the Mississippi River. Actually, in the hill behind me, it descends down to the riverbanks of that river, the Mississippi. That's where I am right now. But we'll talk more about that a little later. I wanted to get into things that are current, and Bernie Sanders has agreed to debate Trump. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I was catching up on a lot of news, a lot of opinions, editorial type stuff, blogging, and Gerald Celente claims that this is the panic of 2016, and he says it's a global recession.
Come and try to get us, Daddy.
I think it is. I've been saying for over 10 years now that we're in a huge crisis.
Come and try to get us. Come and try to get us.
But the recession doesn't really mean that now we're really in a crisis. The crisis is a spiritual condition. Saying that it's economical now, or saying it's the economy is failing, or there's a currency collapse. Saying all that doesn't mean it really begins then. I said that it began even before YouTube was created, even before the housing bubble burst in 2008 to 2009. I was saying it because when there's a spiritual failure, it can't easily be recovered from. You can already see signs of it and say it's inevitable for the rest of the stuff to collapse. The rest of the stuff being the physical symptoms. When there's a spiritual disease, it means that the society, that the mindset of the people is being depleted, and it's only a matter of time before the body will just start to shut down because it's not being nourished or being perpetuated by the spirit. So that's why I said all these things didn't need to have outward signs. It's because if you look into the heart of man, like when I meet people, I can feel their soul. It's not something that is necessarily visible. It's not necessarily something that I have to see a specific aspect or something that you can specify exactly what it is. It's almost like gut feeling, or you can call it intuition. It means that beyond the senses, the physical senses, it's extrasensory perception, ESP. It's a higher sense.
Come on, play with
I
us.
observe people.
Come on, play
I get a psychic reading on them
with us.
and how they're living. And I already knew. So I'm reiterating, if nobody heard it, if you didn't have that opportunity, and if you didn't realize why I came out to YouTube, I wasn't playing around. I'm not wasting my time. It's because I'm warning people with my message. It's serious. If you think that just you heard it 10 years ago and then you lived your 10 years and says, oh, see, I'm not dead yet. Well, spiritually, the society is dead. Spiritually, it's the walking dead already. So even if you live 10 years or then another 10 years, it's still a done deal. And that's what I've declared as the prophet. I gave that message. And it needs to be understood because very few of us will be able to recover and get out of this and become the seed of the new thing that has to be made. Because without the new coming out of the dead, like the phoenix that rises from the ashes, without that, then it's the final end. But I'm not declaring a final end. That's not what's happening here. We just have the situation of the world getting so bad that it's just going to have to shed all of its skin, shed its skins, like a snake, uburos, and in doing so, the survivors of that wreckage will come out and be able to create the new. We will establish the recovery. How did I know? Well, if you take a careful look and you pray, you want to see that. You're given the blessing of this spiritual gift. That's what happened to me. Stay tuned for more, and I will get into subjects, issues, everything connected with this. But that's what it's all about. So I'm letting you know again, nothing has changed. I don't just forget like, oh, everything's okay. There's going to be some quantitative easing. There's going to be some stimulus. There's going to be some business deals going down. No, there's nothing. The only thing you can do right now is try to save yourself. There won't be any economic salvation. It could look like that, but it's not going to be. This whole thing is going to be destroyed down.